and a major city yet to be determined in Russia.
As companies around the world cut ties with Russia, a Utah bank is listed as owning jets belonging to two Russian billionaires.
Leaving on a jet plane. Travis Wayne, good sell. So, as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has revealed that they support Russia over Ukraine in their first presidency statement, demanding that all NATO countries back off and allow the peacekeeping mission of Putin to run its course, as the Russian spy has been identified within the General 70. I did that video. Well, now we have news that today a plane from St. Petersburg in Russia has now landed at Washington Dulles Airport, as it was yesterday at 2:15 p.m., as reported by Politico. The purpose for this is, despite President Biden saying that there will be no more flights of Russians over American airspace, this is the one exception, as they are picking up Russian spies. There are Russian spies? Travis said that there were sleeper cells, but we didn't believe him. Yeah, well, I'm sure there's going to be some sleeper cells left behind. I actually know the daughter of the woman who designs those airplanes. Or used to know her. Someone I used to know. Yeah, back when 2014, when I had Facebook, but now Facebook is banned from Russia. The spy who loved me. So many songs to choose from for this video. In the description below. I remember the days when I used to do an opening and closing hymn for you guys. Nobody appreciated those. I did have one commenter give recommendations, though. I do remember that. But yeah, they're here to pick up spies that are known and are waiting at the airport. So Maria Butina, for example, was one spy who had contact with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. If you remember, you probably don't. It was back when I was on Travis Wayne Goodsell, before that one got shut down the first time. I'm a religious channel, and yet YouTube commits hate crimes to protect the church. And so, yeah, obviously the prophets are not on this plane, but they might as well be. I did the video yesterday or the day before, pointing out that you cannot live anywhere outside of Russia, except for maybe Belarus and Hungary and China and North Korea and, the Axis countries, without some level of discomfort in your daily life. That being Russian is now like being Nazi German during World War II. And I'm still annoyed with certain people who are making the news claiming that we're not in World War III yet, but if we do something, it will cause it. No, Putin already caused it. It's World War III. The whole world's involved. Just because the Allies don't consider Ukraine human because they're not part of the NATO group. Oh, you're not a member? You don't get benefits. Sorry, bye. But Putin, however, is trying to draw them in as he's making threats to a NATO country for their involvement. He wants it, and he's just toying with everybody because of this policy. He's exploiting it. So, yeah, the church needs to go. They can't be on the side of Putin. Nobody can. You are the enemy of mankind. And the church has come out with their first presidency statement informing us that they support Putin. And they talk about claiming to give support to the Ukrainians, but the news is saying that whatever has been given is insufficient. There's 1.3 million last I've seen now. It keeps rising. And at most I see that 1,000 people get taken care of for the help that is given. That's far insufficient. We're looking at a global humanitarian crisis. I mean, these women and children mostly have lost everything. They have what they could carry, and that was pretty much their kids. And so how are they going to start all over? Do they pull themselves up by their own bootstraps? That's what the church would say. Oh, you have to join our church, and then you have to get a job in order to qualify to receive temporary food assistance. They need everything. And because of the way the world economies are set up, people can't just do it. They can't just pick a plot of land and till the ground, plant and harvest and have animals for clothing and food and build their own shelter with the trees and all that stuff. Those days are gone. We are forced to work for other companies to make them rich in a situation where we then have to search for the cheapest quality stuff that we can afford so that we can survive. This is a slave economy system. And now when people are ruined and homeless, it's over for them. They are fully dependent and cannot pull out. They have no assets to build upon. You can't get a loan unless you have some kind of asset to hold as collateral. You have to get somebody else who has collateral and assets to sign for you, for example. And so yeah, this is a horrific situation, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints paid for it, lest we forget, as they want you to. They pulled a fast one on you when Nelson got up and said, and a temple in a major city yet to be determined in Russia. And so, here's the prophecy by which the title was inspired. And the enemy came by night, broke down the hedge. The servants of the nobleman arose, and were affrighted and fled. And the enemy destroyed their works and broke down the olive trees. It's eventually going to be exposed. I'll keep exposing the church. Eventually somebody's going to get word back to them and put pressure on them to do more. And the church doesn't want to do more. They want Putin to win. They want the world war. They want Putin to attack NATO. They want Putin to destroy America. This is their plan for 200 years since Brigham Young. What is the cause of this great evil? So, yeah. As much as the title did not happen in reality, it needs to. Because eventually, this will come to pass. The prophets are making sure of it. How and in what manner and when, I don't know. But the church, with their actions, the consequences will lead to this fulfillment. This is a generalized pattern of wickedness and the consequences of wickedness. And so it will happen, but in what form and when, it's unclear. But yeah, the church set upon themselves their own destruction, even though they thought that they were going to get away with it. But it kind of sucks for the rest of us that they're getting away with it right now. And I should also quickly add that not only the other stuff that I said supports, that the church supports Putin with, they're not pulling the mission presidents with the missionaries out of Russia. I did the video last night. Again, Biden is saying, get out of Russia. There's a reason. And so, yeah, again, the mission presidencies in Russia are not pulling out those missionaries. They're still stranded and trapped in Russia. Putin is rounding up people who are in the streets, and it doesn't matter if they're not protesting or protesting, they're just getting locked up. Thousands have already been incarcerated now for terrorism, for protesting. This is what authoritarian governments do. They twist things around to justify their abuse. And so, yeah, Russians are getting locked up, and missionaries are just going to put themselves in danger if they're out riding their bikes in protest zones. They're going to get locked up with them. And the mission president needs to step in and say, we're going, guys. The church is letting us down. They've abandoned us. We're getting out of here. Let's go. This is a mission president's responsibilities. They're not doing it. And, you know, I saw it in New York, New York. We had a situation where my companion and I, we were going over to another missionary's place, the Spanish elders, I guess. And while we were there, another missionary companionship came back to their residence there at that building, because they try to share to cut costs. And they were all They ran home. And when they got there, they were all panting, huffing and puffing, and told us that the one missionary broke up a drug deal. So, the mission president was called. The mission president shut down that area for any and all missionaries, transferred them other places in New York, and had it lie low for several months before reopening it. But this is what mission presidents are supposed to do. They're supposed to care for the flock, and their flock is assigned as the missionaries. And the missionaries and mission presidents in Russia are abandoning the flock, just like the church leaders are abandoning their flock. Monkey see, monkey do.